Right, just at the bottom of the waterfall, just here we've got a big boulder, and with that big boulder comes a big splash over the top of it. So I'm painting the white first, just for the splash, just in there, and that's there coming over the rock. And then I'm going to come back to my liner brush, which has got the dark brown on it. I'm just going to put a dark area underneath it to show that it's a stone. See that, just under there. The water's actually hitting the top of it and flowing over it slightly. There. And that rock goes down to there. I'm just using a liner brush at the moment. Little details is this, but it's worth doing. And then it comes along and just rolls over the edge of the stone just there. And then again, I'm just going to put a bit more dark just down in there for another rock. We haven't got many, there's only a couple. And then we've got one in here which isn't really getting hit by much. And it's a bit bigger. There. I'm just going to bring it slightly in front of the waterfall, this one. There. I'll put some spray underneath it soon. It's no big deal. There's one there stood up. Right, so what I want to do, back to the brush with the white on and the lavender, and just make it hit the top of that, so it's going over that rock there, both sides. It's smashing down on top of it and going over it. Now you get the white and you tap into it, a lot of paint. Now just underneath, tap some of that in there, right at the base of this wonderful waterfall. You don't want it to be too solid, you just want it to look like it's crashing down in there. There we go. Just in there you can actually put some shadow colour in. I'm going to put more in that. See that? This shadow colour underneath, first of all. Just underneath where you've just splashed. Now this shadow is actually coming right across over to here. So wherever it's hitting underneath, just put this shadow in. The sun's coming down and these trees are making a shadow in this water. So that's why we need this shadow colour underneath this. There. Now again we've got another bigger one that comes out there, another shadow. It's quite thinnish. Quite thin is that one. And you just amalgamate together there. Somewhere about there. You'll notice as you're doing this it'll mix with the liquid white. So you have to keep making the darker colour. In here I want it quite dark. You just use the side of the brush if you want for that. It's as easy as that. Bring that shadow tone into this area now, this darker one. Just here and there, to make it a bit darker. Then we've got something to contrast against with the lovely splashes we're going to get from this, you see. And that even comes on further to there. If you put them in, we use a blender brush and make them look like lovely reflections in the water. There's little shadows from the trees. Then we've got a big part that comes right up to here. Right through. Now we're meeting the tape there. Right. I'm happy. Stretch that shadow out a tiny bit more. Like I said, I want it quite a bit darker in these edges. That'll do for now. Right, happy with that so far. So I just want to have a good step back. Now what I'm wanting to do is a rock here that's in front slightly. So I can just get a little filbert brush through brown, straight brown, bit of white to it, brown and white, not too bright though. And then just up in here we can come along and put a few little highlights on top of this. Give it some substance. So I'm just painting it dark first and then we can highlight it after. I have to come forward in front of that with that first. And then keep it in the dark. Just there. That's how we want to do it. Paint along the waterline slightly. Yeah. That's cool. You can just put some shadows, if you like, in there with that. Blend into these little bits of highlight colour because I want this to be quite dark. And just give it a lovely little top. Just in there. It's not got a lot of light on it, just a bit. There. Smart, happy with that. Now we've got another bush which comes out here in front. So I'm going to use this green again, the light green that I mixed from before. And this is really lit up. Right, so I've got this really bright colour now. Really bright green it is, extremely lovely colour, and I'm just tapping into it and pushing and getting a ridge of paint. And then just here we've got a branch that's like over here, we've got a branch that's coming out and giving us some lovely little leaves and stuff just in there that are much brighter than all the others you can see. Much brighter. There. Got another one just there. Quite a bit closer to us of these compared to the rest. There we go. Be very careful because we're painting over dark paint here. So I'm trying to be very cautious. Now just up in there we've got some leaves. Sweet, I'm happy. Right, so these have been hit by the sunlight. There must be a gap up in the trees and it's been hit by the sunshine. and then it actually comes out on a twig, on a branch. It just comes along like so. That's it. Maybe there's a little one just sticking in it just there. That's it. So you can use a brush in different angles all the time, constantly. And then on the end of that we've got a few little ones just standing out separate. Same there. Little delicate touches. Tiny little delicate touches. Just in there. Right, so what I need to do there, I'm just going to use the filbert brush. I've Van Dyke brown on it. And I'm just going to use a tiny bit of titanium white as well. So it's basically a light brown. And then just in here you can only see the actual branch in one point, and that's here. Comes out, little arm coming off of it, and then it vanishes with all that stuff inside there. So I'll just paint that right through, and it comes out about there. Then I'll probably get some darker brown. And I'll darken one side of that. Just one side. The underside. Same with that there. So the darker underside to it. There we go. Right. Now I like that bright colour that we used on there. I still need to get some more leaves on it. So I'm going to put one there. One there. Don't want it to be bare. I want it to have plenty of leaves on it. On this one. When I put that out, put a few hanger downs on that. Even cover it up sometimes slightly, where it's a tree. Just in there. Right. Now I want this really bright colour, and I'm just going to go into here and highlight that a bit more, just maybe on tops of that as well. You see, don't kill that shadow that you've got in there. Right, I'm really happy with how this one's going right now. Even in there, make it a bit brighter. Really is a zinging out there. You can also just go back to your shadow colours, your dark shadow colours. Get a ridge of that on your paint, on your brush as well. And you can just go back in here and there and add some darks to go back into that, so you got some separation. That's it. Some more at the base. Not quite as bright at the base. That's it, I'm happy with that. good balance of lights and darks so far. Right, now I need to go back to my dark again. I want to go right into the dark lavender here, because I know how much darker I need it to be just in here. I need it to be really quite dark. Right up to that top edge and there. And as it mixes with the liquid white, it will get lighter and lighter in tone. These are just the shadows, which are coming out quite dark. Shadows in the water of the trees up on here. I want that to graduate from dark to a lighter tone, just in there. Get some movement now back in there, you see. That's good. Right, so I'll just use a big brush again. And with that big brush I can just gently now, I know that this shadow actually has to come out a tiny bit further than I've got it as the bottom one here. And that's about there. Now that's what I wanted. Good and dark in this corner. And getting much lighter towards the left. That's great. I know that I need it a bit darker under there also. See, I'm having to keep going back and forwards constantly to make sure I get it the right sort of darkness. But don't worry, if it's not right, you go back and you make it that bit darker, and don't just leave it. You'll be dissatisfied with it then. There, nice contrast, dark colour in there. That's the one. Right, so what that allows me to do now is to use a fan brush and just to tap into this white and lavender colour in there, the white and the lavender together. Tap in, get some pure white on the brush, tap into that, and then just up underneath this I want to just tap some bright spots for where the ripples are, where it's splashing down right into there. Even in front of these rocks I want to put a few splashes. See, now that we've got the idea, we can leave some of these shadows in to give depth and give movement in this water in here. Great, just a little bit. Happy with that. And this is darker because of the shadow underneath. Now, use a clean brush. And just in here, and now I want it lighter. I'm just going to come along the bottom edge there and neaten it off a tiny bit. go. Now with that bit of lighter colour on my brush, I'm going to come underneath this. There. And that just gives you a little highlight for under that rock where the water's coming through. Quite steady by the time it gets to there. Great. Now I've got a bush just down on the bottom of here. So just at the water's edge, there's a little bush just in there. And there's not really no reflection for it, to be honest with you, and it's right at the edge of the water, so the sunshine's coming down in this angle. A few little bits of something just in there, bits on the edge of the water. Great. Now because I've done all this in black, what you can do, you can actually come in and scrape a few sticks and twigs into it. You know, it's holding it up. Because it's black underneath, it'll just about show through. You guys might not even notice it because they're quite small, but they do stand out. Do the same over here. Couple in front. Nice. Now just where the waterfall is there, I just want to tap some more of that colour because I want it coming through a bit straighter just here. Straight through to there at first, that's it, and then behind that, that's where we can paint some colour in. Tap that, make it look like froth. Oh, that froth just there coming from the waterfall. Maybe there's a tiniest little bit of froth just reaching around the corner. There, but then it goes a bit steadier and settles down. Right, I'm extremely happy to have done this for you all. Take care and I'll see you all again soon.